So you had a law student from UCLA wanted to rent a property out in Big Bear in California. And she set up the whole rental on Airbnb. And we've been hearing a lot of issues with people on Airbnb discriminating against different groups of people. So this woman set up the arrangement to rent the home for the weekend. She ended up calling the person and trying to set up adding her 2 dogs and 2 more people. Now, the person could have just said, no, let's just stick to the original terms. No, the person had to invoke the name of Donald Trump and wanted to be racist toward this woman because she's an Asian person. Now, she took screenshots of what the woman said to her at the time period, and you will see it says, go ahead. She replies back, good job, say goodbye to Airbnb. The response was, it's why we have Trump. She responds again, say goodbye to Airbnb. They will not tolerate your racism. They responded back, go ahead. I wouldn't rent to you if you were the last person on earth. One word says it all, Asian. She replied, I will report to Airbnb that you are racist. And then they said, want something for nothing. She replied, you just violated the law. They replied back, and I will not allow this country to be told what to do by foreigners. She said, I'm an American citizen, you bigot. Replied, then act like one and respect with dignity instead of a BOGO buffet. Replied, an American citizen in law school. I'm going to make sure my constitutional rights are, and I'm pretty sure she talked about the rest of that. But she also has a guy as well, and he's in law school. He's studying critical racial studies. So this would be something that would be right up his alley to get involved with, and yet we didn't see him. So let's go ahead and roll a clip of her speaking about what happened to her.
It stings. It stings that after living in the U.S. for over 23 years, this is what happens. No matter, like, if I follow the law, if I'm kind to people, no matter, like, how well I treat others, it doesn't matter. It's if you're Asian, you're less than human.
Now, any man would be upset if his woman was treated that way and she's crying about it. And yet you don't see this guy. Why is that? It's the same thing like the previous story. The other sister, she got treated bad because of the color of her skin. Now this woman is being treated bad for the color of her skin. Yet the 2 guys with them is not making any public condemnation about the racism. Why is that? I'm not saying they're not disgusted by it or upset, not saying that, but why not come out publicly, stand with the women that you're with, and speak up against this? I find it quite strange to do so. I mean, do you feel that you're going to lose your place within your community if you condemn racism? So you rather just stay quiet and maybe say something behind the scenes? That's what I'm kind of getting out of it personally, because this is something that I've seen a few times. And when I've seen different black men, for instance, go through racism, I've actually seen Caucasian women speak up that's with them and condemn it publicly. But I noticed with these guys, it's a little different, that they're not so quick to come out publicly. That's just what I'm noticing off of the stories that I have presented in the past. And maybe some of you could answer that question, like, why aren't they coming out publicly and defending the women that they're with, especially when they're crying like this? We have 2 women crying behind being treated different because of the color of their skin today, and yet nothing is being said. Now, this woman has got a wake-up call as well, because some of our Asian friends thought that they could slide underneath the radar and don't have to go through what we go through. But understand something. That old school stuff has came back, and they're letting you know real quick. They don't like you either. I'm talking about the ones who are racist. So you need to get with the program, understand that, and stop being so shocked. I think the craziest thing in the world is when y'all just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm like, where you been? Have you studied the history of this country? Like, none of that stuff have went away. So why are you so shocked when it happens to you? I wouldn't even fool with Airbnb personally, due to the fact that go on. I'd rather just go old school and just give me a hotel. That's it. I'm not gonna fool with nobody's individual property. I just don't want to do that. I know it may be nicer to do that here and there, but I'm not gonna go through the hassle. I'd rather just find a nice hotel that got good reviews and stay there and do whatever I gotta do. And if you couldn't get a cabin at Big Bear, well, maybe you should have planned it a little earlier than that. I don't know. Now, should they left you stuck out in the snowstorm and cancel on you 3 hours before you got there? No, they shouldn't have done that. They should have canceled on you way ahead of time. That was wrong. And so I understand why you got pissed off. You out there in the snowstorm, 3 hours from your destination, and you get told all this mess, and then on top of that, you Asian, and that's why I did it, and I support Trump. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. These people out here, I don't understand them. If you are that way, don't get on websites like Airbnb, or don't offer your places to rent or whatever. Or why don't you just move to areas where there are people that look just like you, where you be comfortable? You don't have to worry about renting to Asians and blacks and Hispanics or Arabs or any other group. I don't understand that America is so big where you could actually have your own little corner where you don't even have to deal with all that problem. But yet you'll still do these sort of things, and then you get upset when people call you out, and they should. But this lady got a wake-up call, and a lot of people are getting that wake-up call right now in this country, and it's good because the reality do need to set in how things really are in this country, and we need to stop having this fantasy world that it doesn't go on. Because if we don't accept the reality of the country we live in, then how can you really fix the problems? If you like the news and information presented on the platform, support us monthly at a minimum of $5 a month on Patreon. We need 3,000 people to help us stay afloat. The mainstream media is attacking independent voices like myself, and we don't want to go away at the hands of the dirty mainstream media, and we need your help. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.